My name is Sally Kim and I attended North Sydney Girls High School and I graduated in 2008. I'm a former Matrix student here as well. I attended here from years 10 to 12 and currently I'm the maths tutor team leader here for Matrix. So you probably see my picture around everywhere on the walls. So what do I study in uni? I'm in my third year of my combined science medicine program. So this course is called Bachelor of Science Advanced / Bachelor of Medicine / Bachelor of Surgery, very long course, at the University of Sydney. So it consists of 3 years undergraduate science and a subsequent 4 years postgraduate medicine. So currently I'm in my third year of undergraduate science. So why did I choose this course? First of all, my interest in a career in medicine started back in year 6. We did a group presentation on the circulatory system, and in our presentation we named each member as components of the heart. So for example, aorta, artery and vein. Ever since then I've always been keen on learning about human physiology, especially of the heart, and that's where I want to specialise later on. Also, I love to help others. Ask me a maths question, I'll be more than willing to help you. Uni notes, anything, I'll be more than willing. Helping others is the most valuable attribute one can have because it's not always easy to go out of your way and time to help someone else, And it's always important to treat people the way you want to be treated. So if someone's asking for help, later on you might need their help, so make sure you give them to them. I also chose this career path because I'm inquisitive and I love problem solving and I love to learn. Medicine is a dynamic, revolutionary field of study, and there's a lot of research and technological advances happening. Studying medicine doesn't finish at the end of your duration of degree at uni. It's a lifelong commitment you have to make, and if you're not passionate about wanting to learn, then it's probably not the course for you. Because there's a lot of stress, pressure and workload in this field. So if you're not prepared to commit to this lifelong learning, then you might have to think of another option. So I'll share with you some of the major hurdles I experienced during high school, because I expect most of you guys to be in year 11 and 12 here. Yeah? Okay, so one of the difficulties was balancing tuition with schoolwork. Tuition was pretty much like a second school for me. So I had to work around my high school classes and my tuition classes, and I had to try and find time to study and prepare for assessments as well within that. So I overcame this by making my personal timetable and setting aside certain times to study particular subjects. If your concentration span isn't very great, try studying for, say, 50 minutes with a 10-minute break, and then repeat that hour process. It really helps. I felt like most of my study consisted of doing homework, but it's okay because as long as you get practice, as Linda said, it's a repetitive nature that really drills that concept into your head. So make sure you do as much homework as you can, even though it's not further study, like getting ahead. Make sure you're on top of things all the time. The biggest difficulty in high school is probably the overload of assessments, because bad news is you always get that bombardment of assessments at the same time during term. Okay? So for me, it all came down to time management. This is the most important thing you learn in high school. I made sure I started researching for my assignments as soon as I got them. As soon as I received them, and worked on it bit by bit every day. For upcoming exams, I'd start preparing at least 2 weeks ahead, okay? And I try to do as many past papers as I could before the exam during those 2 weeks instead of leaving it last minute. Cramming works to a certain extent, but if you do it over 2 weeks, it really reduces the stress and workload, and trust me, you'll do very well in the exams. Another hurdle I experienced was studying for the GMAT. People studying for GMAT here? Anyone? Most of you guys? Yeah? Hope so. You have to practice GMAT tests consistently throughout year 11 and 12. instead of leaving it a few weeks before the exam, which is what I really regret. Each practice text takes, say, 3 hours to complete, and you'll get heaps of practice tests that you can do. And it's best to treat it like an extra subject. Okay? So you have to put as much time into GMAT as you do in, say, maths or something. So how did Matrix help me? First of all, Matrix allowed me to accelerate relative to the pace at school. The topics covered at Matrix was just ahead of the topics covered at school. And I was always learning things for the second time when it came to schoolwork, which made it easier for me to understand and grasp the concepts. Practice. HSC is all about practice, practice, and practice. There are so many questions in the work and theory books that if you complete all of them, then you're pretty much set for your exams, and you've got the full range of questions in your workbooks that you can that will come up in your future exams. Matrix allowed me to create a network of friends, peers, university graduates, and professional subject experts, which share resources among the students, and friendly competition between peers at Matrix really allowed us to achieve at higher levels. So we'd always try to compete and get higher marks in topic tests and quizzes like that. Also, any trivial questions we had, we could always rely on a subject expert to answer our questions. So we'd go to science teacher or a maths tutor. Also, Matrix was a great place for resources, whether it was past papers or revision booklets, textbooks, or additional help from tutors and teachers. All the resources you needed were available. So I think it really helped me. So how am I finding my current course? At the moment, I'm in my final year of undergraduate science. I'm doing a double major in advanced mathematics and physiology. The highs, there's so much variety and option you can choose from in a science degree. Whether you're a physics person or biology, anatomy, psychology, even music and languages, you can choose any of those electives in your science degree. It's also quite challenging having to do a lot of self-learning and research during uni. Okay? All the material isn't given to you like high school anymore. It's a lot of self-learning, and you have to do your own research. However, it trains you to become a more independent and self-learner. The downfalls would be the number of hours per week in a science degree. Science students have an average about 20 hours per week at uni, equivalent to 5 days. Compare this to commerce students who only have about 12 hours a week at uni, and it's nearly double the hours for a science course. However, science medicine really allows you to study what you enjoy. As I mentioned earlier, there are so many electives available for you, and you're bound to find the one you're interested in. It even allows you to do further research via talented students programs if you're a keen research and lab person. It's not a requirement that you do medicine-related subjects during your undergraduate science. So I'm doing maths, for example. That's nowhere related to medicine. But the science really gives you freedom and flexibility in choosing subjects you enjoy before you start your medicine degree. Okay, so some of my advice. Time management always works best when you create your personal timetable and set aside certain times to study. Write down small achievable goals and tasks you have to complete by certain dates using to-do lists. Make realistic goals, not something like write notes for term 1 by week 2, but more like write notes for the first 5 dot points of topic 1 by today. And there's always a feeling of satisfaction when you tick that off. Always do 2 weeks preparation for assessments. Okay? School assessments make up half of your final HSC marks, and it's really important you put maximal effort into these. Also, use your term holidays wisely. If you're a keen student, try to study ahead, because that's what I did. If you feel like you're not confident in what you learned in the previous term, make sure you revise so that you're not behind in the next term. Because you don't want to leave, as Linda mentioned, you don't want to leave all your study till the end. You don't want to be learning things when you have to do revision. Okay? You should be doing past papers towards the end. Try to gather as many past papers as you can during the holidays too. Okay, it really saves time, okay, when you print them off earlier. Whether it be other school assessment tasks or trial papers or HSC exams. And many students think they can slack off during year 11 and focus on year 12. That's not the case. Okay? Make sure when you get into year 11 and 12, you need to sacrifice a bit of your playtime, okay? Because it really pays off in the end when you achieve that ATAR you really want. And there's no other shortcut than getting the sufficient ATAR and getting into the course you want to instead of taking other pathways. Last but not least, create visual goals and place them where you can see them every day. Okay, for me, I made this simple, colourful goal at the beginning of year 11, and I stuck it in front of my desk for 2 years, and I looked at it every day, and I think it helped me achieve it. It really helped. So thank you for listening, guys. I hope I've helped.